he's doing pretty well. What does he say? What does he say? The smartest guy in the room. Really? I thought it was Trump. Just kidding. So how many of you go to this school? Raise your hands. How many of you? So why did you decide, are you go here? Did I see your hand up? Why did you, since you're so close, why did you decide to go here? Tell us about it.
This was my dad, and I had a degree in medical.
People don't realize that they can go to a community college at a fraction of the cost, be able to transfer those credits to the four-year school if they so choose, and be able to cut the cost of their college education in half. Now in Ohio, I'm trying to expand this to 3 years, so you can cut your costs in 3/4 and still get your four-year degree at just a fraction of what it takes to go to college. And that's a really thing we need to think about. How old are you, sweetheart? And why are you not in school? Oh, you sang the national, how'd she do? Yeah, you look just like her, you're very lucky. Now let me ask you this, do you sing anything else? What else do you sing? Basically anything. Well, since I didn't hear you sing the national anthem, would you come up and sing one short little something else? What would you like to sing? Yep, well, I'll introduce you. Justin Bieber. Do you like Justin Bieber? Do you like Sorry? We're not going to play that. It's going to play. I'm not going to ask you to sing that, that's for sure. But I do have it on our playlist here. Well, okay, come and sing, you know, America the Beautiful? Just come on up here and sing a few notes. Come on. This is how it all starts, folks. Okay. Lily. Okay, let's hear it for Lily. Tell us something out, whatever you got. Oh, good. That's a great one.
You're a grand old flag, your heart bound flag, forever in peace may you wave. You're the ember of
I so love to see kids have a chance to get a microphone and stand up in front of people, because that's a foreshadow of what may ultimately happen. So here I was, a young Catholic boy. I've never told this story out, I don't think, in front of a whole bunch of people. But I was, as a young Catholic boy, I was an older boy. Any Catholics here? There's some. Oh gosh, I mean, are there any Methodists here? No, I'm just kidding. So, I was in about the 4th grade when I decided that it was a lot easier to go to church if I was sitting up in front than it was sitting in the back. And I became an older boy, learned all the Latin in the days. And then I got to be in about the 9th or the 10th grade. I don't remember which grade that was, but you know what a commentator is, the person that gets up and reads and announces and leads and all that stuff. Well, I was at the 12 o'clock service, and the man who delivered and was our commentator, he didn't show up. And the priest looks at me and he says, put that jacket of yours back on and go down and perform that that service there. Go down there and be the commentator for the church. So I put my jacket on, went down there, and I walked down the aisle, and I got up on the podium, and I could see my mother up there. And I started to speak, and my mother jumped. I said, "Mom, it's okay. Everything, the priest asked me to do this, okay?" So I did it for a bunch of years, and I think I was a senior in high school. I went to public high school, so I didn't go to Catholic school. There was one thing I wouldn't do as a commentator. I would not sing. Because I thought that singing, on top of everything else I was doing around the church, was sort of, I was like sissified. So I just wouldn't sing. And I don't know why I felt that way. When you look at Justin Bieber, or you look, I could have been worth billions had I started to sing. But I didn't sing. So, you know, at the end of the service, the priest comes down off of the altar, picks up the cross, turns around and walks out. Well, I announced the closing hymn. And nobody was singing. So I screamed at the organist, "Stop the music! Why do you people come to church? You know that God loves when you sing. And so I want you to pick up those prayer books and turn to page 48 and sing the closing hymn." And the priest was looking at me like, you know, what is this guy doing? And so the organist plays, and there's a few more people singing, but not many. The priest leaves, and I'm gathering my papers, and I'm getting ready to walk out, and this little old lady walks up to me, and she says, "You know, young man, I love to sing. And I particularly love to sing the closing hymn. Could you just give us the right page the next time?" Now, I've been going at full speed, damn the torpedoes, my entire lifetime. And when I think back on those days, and the fact that I had a microphone, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. And so you have Lily up here singing, and who knows? American Idol's going away, but there'll be enough. Maybe I'll create a reality show. The President's Reality Music Show. So it's nice of you all to come out. I understand this was like so important to New York because of the Erie Canal. Is that correct? That you are responsible for New York City. Give yourself a round of applause. And I grew up in a little town outside of Pittsburgh called McKees Rocks. It was a blue-collar town. My father carried mail on his back. His father was a coal miner. My grandfather worked in a coal mine all day, and he'd come up, thought he had a good haul, and he'd get to the surface, and they'd say, "No, you have coal, but you have too much peat." They'd pay him half. And he didn't have anybody to complain to. He was an immigrant, didn't know how to really step up and question authority, which we could all understand. And my father carried that mail and delivered it all over our communities and was very involved in the community as a result of that. My mother's mother couldn't speak English, and my mother was one of four. She was the only one to get out of the 8th grade and received a high school diploma by walking across a footbridge over a railroad track. And the town I came from, if the wind blew the wrong way, people found themselves out of work. It was a place where people would play by the rules, but, didn't always work out for them. And that's my DNA. That's who I am. And I have been in politics for a long time. And it's been basically miraculous, because I never knew anybody in the Republican Party. I didn't have one single relative that lived in Ohio. I had no connection whatsoever. But because of the hard work and because of the grassroots organizations that I was able to put together, and people around me were able to put together, I've been elected to public office multiple times. Who do I owe? Nobody, except the men and the women who put up the signs, make the phone calls. I've been an independent guy all of my lifetime, and frankly, my mind's eye are the very people who I grew up with. The guy that would leave early in the morning and come back late, and would start off with clean clothes and would come back dirty. The people who worked in the chemical plants, in the steel mills, not the ones that had a white collar. It wasn't until I went to college that I actually realized that people could wear neckties in the evening without having to go to church. I mean, I just didn't know this because I'd never seen it in my lifetime. It was not the world in which I grew up. So I've always sort of felt that my purpose, as hard as this might be to believe for all of you, is to stick up for you. Okay, that's it. And I've always felt that when you get behind the wheel of a car, you drive it. And you try to do good work. And you try to create a situation where everybody has a chance to have an opportunity and everybody has a chance to have a voice. And the Republican Party is what I'm a member of, but the Republican Party has been my vehicle and never my master. Nobody in the party or anywhere else. It's really cool. And the reason it's cool is because I'm not orthodox. You can't figure out what I'm going to do. I've been a conservative all my lifetime. And the reason why I've been a conservative is because I believe, I don't like anything big. I don't like big business, I don't like big unions, and I don't like big government. Why? Because when things are big, it sort of can get in my way. It limits my ability to do the things that I want to do. So, you know, I've always, like to say, been independent. I was a congressman for a while. By the way, you know, where I graduated from high school, that little town, we had, it was not like really great when we looked at our public officials, because most of them went to jail. And, no, I had a state senator went to jail, I had a state rep that went, everybody was, you know, doing things that were not right. So I became a congressman. I was very, very proud of that. You know, I was elected when I was 30. So I went to my high school reunion. You know how we all want to go back, wear the best clothes we have, you know, dye our hair, you know, whatever we have to do. And I go into my high school reunion. And a guy walks up to me, and he says, John, you're a congressman, aren't you? I said, I am. Yes, I am. He said, I voted for you to be one of the most likely to succeed. What happened? And he wasn't kidding. He was 100% serious. So let me tell you a little bit about Washington and what